First and the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. Great to have you here with us, Franklin Graham. Talk to me a little bit about your take on the reaction to this movie and the part that is left out.
Well, first of all, I think Angelina Jolie did an incredible job following the film. Unfortunately, the film stops at chapter 33, 39 chapters in the book, and I think probably the most important part of the book is, of course, when he does come home and his life does become broken, it falls apart. He tries to choke his wife in the middle of the night, thinking she was this Japanese tormentor, the bird. He turns to alcohol, trying to get away from these nightmares that he's having every night. But his wife went to hear my father, and she went forward in this big tent they call the Canvas Cathedral there at Washington and Hill Street in downtown Los Angeles. And her life was dramatically changed. And she had already filed for divorce papers, and she came back and she told her husband, because of her decision to follow Christ, that she could not divorce him, and she was going to live with him. Well, he was so overjoyed and thrilled at that, she convinced him to go hear my father, but he got up and ran out. He didn't like it. He didn't like hearing someone say that he was a sinner. He thought that he was a good man. And the couple of days later, he went back. And when my father gave the invitation for people to put their faith and trust in Christ, instead of running out of the tent, he went forward. And his life was so dramatically changed. He went home that night, got rid of his pornography, he got rid of his alcohol, he threw his cigarettes away, and he found the Bible that was given to him when he was in the military, and he began to read and study the Bible, and his life was transformed instantly that day. And it stayed with him for the rest of his life. He never turned from what he put his faith and trust in, and that was Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, it is such a moving part of the book. Because you watch this man go through so much torment and survive, which is just incredible. I mean, he was eating, birds and fish on this raft for 47 days. His colleague was lost, died out there on the raft. And then you watch him come back and you think, that this is going to be the happy part of his life, and it's not. And he, like so many other people who have served and who've been through difficult experiences, he suffered from PTSD. And he says that after his conversion in the tent with your father preaching, that the PTSD was gone. He said, I never felt it again after that day. And he says that this is the hinge. This is what makes him unbroken, made him unbroken, right?
Yes. It is. When he put his faith in Christ, that day his life was changed. But not only did his life change, but those headaches stopped, those nightmares stopped that day. He never had them come back. And he was able to go back to Japan a few years later and confront the men that had tormented him there in prison. And he was able to forgive them for what they did to him. And it's a tremendous story of forgiveness. And I'm just sorry that was left out. But you know what, Martha? We've got the rest of it. We've got right here at the Billy Graham Association, we've got the DVD that tells the rest of it, and it's Louis telling it himself.
Yeah.
So we have it. If somebody wants to come, go to BillyGraham.org. We'll send it to you, and we'd love for you to see it.
It's really moving. I watched some of it this morning, and I'm sure people will do that, because as you say, the movie looks terrific, and this is the rest of the story that they can get from you guys. It's interesting that your father preached that night when Louis was there. Here tonight there is a drowning man, a drowning boy, a drowning girl, out lost in the sea of life, and that was something that he clearly could relate to. Franklin Graham, thank you so much for being with us today. It's wonderful to talk to you.